So, what role does self discipline play in achieving goals?
So goals are like milestones. So I mentioned the word mission, vision, and goals. A lot of people feel that goals are only in the professional area or only in the academic area. You can have your personal area goals as well. Your goals should not hurt anyone. So the moment you realize that it is difficult for me to study, do exactly that. At the start, when you wake up in the morning, decide what are you going to do in the day. And before going to sleep at night, think of what you thought in the morning, what all you've done and what all you've not done. If you enjoy the process of achieving the goal, then you are steadily on that path. You have that routine. I mean is that if you just cannot rely only on one job. You'll be having a job, that's fine. But you also need to have some side hustle. Something that you definitely know you should pursue it. Believe you can, believe you can't. Either ways, you're right. A person without goals, a person without a mission in life, a person without vision in life is a lost person.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Campus Chats. I am Vidisha.
And I am Parth. Today we are diving deep into an essential topic for personal and academic success: goal setting and SMART goals. If you have ever struggled with sticking to your plans or achieving your targets, this episode is for you.
And to guide us through this, we have an expert with us today, Amrendra Chittai sir, a renowned mentor and educator. He has helped countless individuals achieve their success. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And I'm so happy that the young talent of St. Anthony's School is actually conducting this podcast. So I'm really happy that this is happening.
We are happy to, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now let's start with the basics. We often hear that setting goal is important, but why exactly? What difference does it make in a student's life?
First and foremost, a person without goals, a person without a mission in life, a person without vision in life is a lost person. Uh, it Goals, mission, vision gives you certain direction in life. Otherwise, you'll see there are a lot of people in this world who do all sorts of things. I mean, they'll play multiple sports. They'll probably get into multiple art forms. Try to specialize in multiple things. But then sometimes you end up as jack of all and master of none. Whereas I feel that whatever you do, the specialization in that field or mastery in that field is very important. Now, for that to happen, there should be a clear cut goal in your life that, okay, this is what I'd like to do, or this is what I'd like to achieve. And once you have that conviction, uh, of course, the goal has to be very compelling because, again, we've seen a lot of people, they'll set goals, let's say on New Year's Eve. New Year resolutions, you must have heard of it. So they set some goals at that time, but because those goals are not very compelling, they'll lose track of it. So the goals have to be compelling. So once you set compelling goals for yourself and that conviction is there, then it kind of gives you a direction in your life. Then you're not easily distracted. Say it's like that. That's why everybody should have right from a small child to an elderly person. Everybody should have goals.
Wow, that makes so much sense. I have always thought that goal setting was just about making to-do list, but now I see that it actually helps us stay on track.
Yes.
So, is there a difference between long term and short term goals?
Yes. So I mentioned the word mission, vision, and goals. So let me differentiate this a little bit. So a mission is something like a purpose of life. What is it that you want to do in your life that makes your life fulfilling? Like, for example, I'm an educator. I have a simple mission statement, and that mission statement is to educate others. This is what I do. If you take this away from me, okay, I'm sure that in the next couple of years I'll be a very depressed person. Okay, so a mission in your life is very important. That purpose of life, which makes your life fulfilling, that is very so. Mission is the purpose of life, which makes your life fulfilling. Second is vision. Vision, the word vision means where do I see myself? See. Where do I see myself, let's say, in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And this is a common question asked in interviews that, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Okay. Some students reply to this by saying, I don't know, I can't see myself where I am this Saturday. But that question is very important because if you if you have a plan, then you know that in the next couple of years where you're going to be. Like, y'all are in 10th now. I'm sure you have some plan in your head. At least one plan that, okay, what specialization you're going to go into, science, arts, or commerce. And then from there, what? And then from there, what? That vision part is very important. Now, I'll tell you my vision. Okay, so my vision by the end of 2025, my vision is to to have trained people from more than 100 countries. That's my vision. I'm currently at 87. Okay, this vision I had last year, which is still continuing. But of course, students also have they should also have a certain vision. Like for example, okay, 10th. Okay, 1 year from now, what? How do you want to see yourself? Or then 12th, how do you want to see yourself? And then professionally, how you want to see yourself? That's the vision part. Then comes the goal part. You realize that mission is very big, vision is slightly smaller, and goals is even smaller. So, so goals are like milestones to achieve your vision in some way. So, when you and goals can be in any area of life. A lot of people feel that goals are only in the professional area or only in the academic area. You can have your personal area goals as well. Like for example, let's say there's a child who is not able to make friends. Okay, very simple, not able to make friends. I mean, the child can have a simple goal that in the next 2 months at least I should have two friends that I can talk to. Okay, from a goal as simple as that to, let's say, losing your weight. Let's say somebody is overweight and they're losing your weight. That could be a goal. So you can have multiple goals in multiple areas of life. Now, when you all grow up, as in when you start working, you will have your own professional goals. Some of you also might have monetary goals. That okay, in the next 1 year, I need to earn this much money. Then I'd like to buy a car, or I'd like to buy a house. These goals, now these are need-based goals. You realize, and these will keep on coming. So when you ask me the question that, okay, what is a long-term goal and short-term goal? Essentially, the long-term goal could be the mission and the vision, or something related to, the need part of your life in terms of the 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 house and the car and stuff like that. And then you have these smaller micro level goals, which actually make your life easy to live or interesting to live.
And what's the biggest mistake students make while setting goals?
Ah, there's a list of it. Okay. So the some of the mistakes that students make is, they sometimes they listen to others and set goals. Okay, that let's say you should be a doctor, or sometimes they listen to the society. What has happened is that, ever since, I mean, this has always been there, that certain professions in the society are considered to be very respected, like doctors and engineers and lawyers and all that. I think that part is actually moving away now because you'll see a lot of students are actually very talented in a lot of things. So sometimes you listen to the society, okay, this is appropriate, this is not appropriate. Let's say, you know, a child wants to become a tattoo artist. Okay, it's good. And there is nothing wrong with it. But then suddenly, if somebody says that, okay, tattoo artist, what? I mean, what are you? And tattoo artists earn a lot. Okay, so some students might say they want to become YouTubers. You will find these all uncles and aunties, some of them, not all, but some of them will say, YouTuber. Okay, so you want to earn money the easy way. So that's another mistake. I know, sometimes we listen a lot to others or a lot to the society. Another, thing that a lot of students do is obviously the distractions and the focus. Okay. Now, I've heard a lot of hue and cry about distractions related to the mobile phone and Instagram and the reels and all that. That's fine. I would say that you cannot take it out of your life. You should not take it out of your life. But sometimes you can plan it out. Uh, Sometimes when you're working on something, don't work for you need not work on that for, let's say, 2 hours straight or 3 hours straight. If you are going to get distracted, work for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, take a break. Acha, till that time that you're working, keep your mobile in the other room, uh, in silent mode. Okay, so that then you're totally focused on this. And then later on, whenever you're taking that 15-minute, 20-minute break, watch only the mobile. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that do justice to whatever you're doing. That's another one. Another very important point which I'd like to make over here is in goal setting, uh, people are more focused on the outcome.
Yeah.
When will I achieve something? When will this happen? When will that happen? And that makes you impatient. And that's not such a good thing. You should enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process of achieving the goal, then you are steadily on that path. You have that routine. If you are totally going to focus on the outcome and then become impatient, because of that impatience, a lot of students, a lot of people, they will just lose out. They'll move away from that goal. Okay. That's another kind of distraction, in fact, that impatience. Okay. So, enjoying the process, of course, if you enjoy the process and do everything that is required, you will achieve whatever you need to achieve. It's like if the train goes on this track, it is going to arrive at that station. Enjoy that track. Okay. That's one. Um, well, I mean, these are some points where I think that a lot of people, and I'll tell you, let's say, for example, goal setting and how to achieve goals has to be made your lifestyle. Make it like, I'll tell you, a lot of people diet, right, to reduce their weight. Okay. Dieting is not the right way. Changing your lifestyle is very important, which means make it a part of your lifestyle. So, dieting is temporary, but lifestyle is permanent. So, exercising, so every day I'll exercise has to be a part of your lifestyle. Every day I will consume only this much calories. That's a part of my lifestyle. Sundays will be my cheat day where I will eat a pizza. That also is a part of your lifestyle. So, create a lifestyle rather than temporary stuff.
Yeah, without clear goals, I sometimes feel lost about what to study or prioritize. This definitely makes me feel that goal setting is more meaningful. So, what role does self discipline play in achieving goals?
I think let me start off with a statement that we are not in control of anything apart from our body and our mind. Okay, you might think that you are in control of your friends, or they'll listen to you, whatever you tell them, or your parents will listen to you, or whoever. But that's not the case. The only thing that you are in control of is your body and your mind. If you keep your hand like this, and if you move it, and if you decide to move it and you move it, you are in control. You see, this is also like a metaphoric example of discipline. So, discipline, a lot of people think it is a difficult word. Okay. Now, let's talk of an example. The example is that, okay, I'm supposed to uh, study because y'all are school kids. So, I should be studying and I should be completing this portion, that portion. Jo bhi. I mean, I should be having a routine. Okay. You're in 10th. I can very well imagine that in a few days, you will start studying, let's say, for 4 hours in a day. Increase it to 6 hours, increase it to 8 hours, probably increase it to 10 hours, 12 hours. It is going to happen. If not in 10th, it is definitely going to happen in 12th. It is definitely going to happen in your professional course. I think that you should continue doing the same thing over and over again till the time it becomes a habit. You see, what is a habit? You try something, okay? You you either like it or you don't like it, okay? Um, Now, in this case, let's say studies. You may like studying. Some students may not like studying, but you have to study because you know you have to get admission in the 11th. So the moment you realize that it is difficult for me to study, do exactly that. Take it head on. That okay, मुझे पसंद नहीं है ना. I don't enjoy studying, but it is important for me. Do exactly that. Okay. I feel like sleeping. Challenge yourself and जितना भी पानी मारो, whatever it is, take everything head on. Whatever it is, uh, do not surrender yourself to the temptations.
Yeah.
Now, if you continue doing this for a certain number of days, it becomes a part of your routine. It becomes a part of your habit. Okay. For some people, it is 21 days. As they say that a habit can be formed or can be broken in 21 days.
Yes.
Um, but for some people, it might be 30 days. For some people, it might be 53 days. So whatever it is, it's different for different people. But then you have to do it. And then there's another way, that you can get your focus right. Every day, just do this. I mean, people talk about meditation. It's a good thing. Meditation is a good thing. But I have this one exercise that have these concentric circles on a piece of paper, paste it on a wall, and sit in a chair like this, and only look at the center of these concentric circles for, let's say, 2 minutes without having any thought in your mind. Absolutely no thought and without any movement. Start with 2 minutes, increase it to 5 minutes, increase it to 10 minutes, increase it to 20 minutes. The moment you are able to get it to 20 minutes, you'll realize that your focus and your mind is relaxed much more. You're allowed to blink, otherwise your eyes will start watering. By the way, if anybody has specs, okay, try not to blink. Eyes will start watering, and um, and your eyes are in better shape. Okay. Again, apart from this, this is how you can get that focus. Meditation obviously is good. Uh, I think another thing is, that at the start, when you wake up in the morning, decide what are you going to do in the day. Just visualize what you're going to do in the day. And before going to sleep at night, think of what you thought in the morning, what all you've done and what all you've not done. And then decide what you're going to do tomorrow. This has to happen every day. And you need to visualize that, okay, ये करूँगा, फिर वो करूँगा, वो करूँगा, वो करूँगा. Okay. This is how you can discipline yourself.
That's quite informative. Now, one of the best ways to set goal effectively is by using Smart Saver. Could you explain what SMART goals are and why they work so well?
So SMART goals is an acronym. Okay. SMART, it's an acronym. Mnemonic memory device, just to remember what these things are. So S is specific. Now let me give you an example. Okay. Let's say I want to lose weight. I really want to lose weight. So let's say I want to lose weight. So S specific. Am I specific about something? Yes. Specifically, I'm talking about my weight. Okay. So S is specific and S is simple. So if you can explain the goal in a simple way, you understood the goal. If you can't explain your goal, then probably you need to refine that goal. So S is specific. M is measurable. Measurable means, so I want to reduce my weight by 15 kilos. Is it measurable? It's measurable. And another meaning of M is the goal meaningful to you? Are you doing it because you want it, or are you doing it because somebody else wants it, or let's say your parents want it, or your friend wants it? Okay. Is it meaningful to you? I mean, I have some students, from college. One girl came to me one day. She said, "Sir, my parents want me to get married." I said, "Get married. Nice. It's a good thing. Welcome to the club." But then she said, "But I don't want to get married now." I said, "Then don't get married. Tell your parents that you'll get married later." "But sir, I can't tell them." Then I told, asked her, what is meaningful for you? Just now, your career or marriage? She said, career. And I said, then go for it. Then she said, my parents are also meaningful to me. You realize this is where that dilemma comes. What is meaningful to me? A is whether the goal is attainable. Taking the weight example, 15 kilos is attainable for me. Okay. May not be attainable for you, by the way. If you reduce by 15 kilos, you'll vanish. So, is it attainable? So, it is attainable. And R is, realistic. Is it realistic? A realistic example in the sense that, I have absolutely no experience in public life or social life or politics, and I want to be the president of United States. Is it realistic?
No.
So the goal has to be somewhere realistic.
Yeah.
Although we have seen a lot of unrealistic goal achievements. Have you all seen the movie 12th Fail?
Yes.
If you've not seen it, you should watch that movie. That movie is an example where I think 9 out of 10 people would have thought that becoming an IAS or clearing the UPSC for this character is going to be impossible. It is not realistic. But then he achieved it. Now again, you are the best judge what you can achieve in life and what you can't achieve in life. So whether that goal is real is another meaning of rather the acronym R. Realistic and responsible. Very, very important. Responsible means while you are achieving your goal, are you hurting anyone else? So the ecology part is very important.
Yeah.
Your goals should not hurt anyone. Definitely not your family, not your friends. In fact, nobody. Not only the human beings, but also the environment. So that is the responsible part. And then T is time bound. By when are you going to achieve the goal? That is very important. I want to reduce my weight by 15 kilos, but till when? By when? By June, July, August, I should specify that.
Yes.
Another meaning of T is towards what you want. You should always, mention your goals in the positive sense. Like I'll give you an example. Let's say you're crossing the road, right? What is your goal while crossing the road?
To cross the road.
For reaching the another side of
That's
the
right.
To cross the road, reach the other side. That's it.
without any obstructions.
Safely.
See.
So you realize that in this statement there are two goals. Reaching the other side is towards, that is positive. And I don't want to be hit by any vehicle.
Yeah.
Is an away from goal. A lot of times people say that I don't want this, I don't want that. That cannot be your goal. You already don't have it. Okay. So your goals are always supposed to be positive. That I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to learn that, I want to grow in this direction. So that's towards goals. Okay. So this is what smart goals are. Whatever goals you set in your life, they have to be coded in the form of smart goals and write it down somewhere, paste it on the wall.
That's a game changer. I have always written things like studying more, but that's too vague. Now I see that making it specific and measurable can actually help me.
True. And how do SMART goals help students to make their objectives more clear and more achievable?
So the description of smart goals that I gave you just now, the specific, measurable and all that. So when you actually do it, you need to write it on a piece of paper. It's not only about keeping in the head. See, what happens is if you keep it in your head, it is intangible. Intangible means you cannot, like when you write it on the paper, you can see it in front of your eyes. You can touch it. And you can paste it on the wall. Along with that, you can do other things. Like let's say, for example, like for your board exams. So every year, board exams are held, and the board, whichever board, the CBSE board, SSC board, they will come up with the results, and they'll say, okay, in Maharashtra, this is rank. This student is rank 1, or this student is rank 2. Okay. Sometimes you know what students do? They'll take a small frame, okay, paste a paper, small wooden frame. Behind that, paste a paper and write on it that, okay, all Maharashtra rank 1. big, and then they'll post it on the wall. They'll look at it every day. You know, these are some examples of how you can make things tangible for yourself. I'll tell something for the girls as well. I've seen a lot of girls doing this. That and it's a I mean, I find it a little funny, but let's say there's a marriage happening after 2 months, okay, and there's this wonderful dress which the girl would like to wear, but at the moment the fitting is not right because let's say the girl needs to reduce a little bit. She'll hang up that dress on the wall. Okay, look at that dress every day. I need to get into that dress. You understand how you need to make things tangible. So once you have done this, okay, you can do this, what I just told you, write it on a paper and all that. This is another thing which you can do. Take a big chart paper. In the middle of the chart paper, draw a horizontal line. This line basically is a timeline. And on the left hand side is now. And right hand side over here, or extreme right hand side, is the end of your SSC exams. Okay. Now, you are going to travel on this timeline. So, first go right to the end. Think, mentally go right to the end. Say, thinking that, okay, my 10th exam is done. And my papers have gone fantastically well. Fantastically well. I'm sure I'm going to be a ranker. Okay. By the way, when I say a ranker, doesn't mean that people are supposed to take pressure out of it. Yes. Idea, again, it's not so much about the outcome, it's about the process. Very important. You need to enjoy the process and the outcome will follow. So, okay, the papers have gone fantastically well. What is the last thing that I need to do before this happens? Think. What is the last thing? What is the second last thing? What is the third last thing? What is the fourth last thing? Start backtracking and write it on that chart paper. It's in the landscape form, so you have a pretty big line. So write it on that chart paper along with the time zone, rather the time part. So let's say next year around March will be your exam, probably. So again, February, what will you achieve? January, what you'll achieve. So all this comes on the paper, and then you post it on the wall, stick it on the wall in your room. You can still add a lot of details. So once you've backtracked, then you again forward track. So what is the first thing that I need to do after now? Second thing, third thing, continued. So forward tracking, backtracking. Enter all these details on it and keep it over there. Like for example, by January, I should be ready with all my subjects and I should be giving all these model papers and I should be scoring very well. By October, I should have completed 80% of my portion. And it's so, such things have to come on the paper. That's how you can do it. Yeah, many other ways, but again, yeah.
So, but how can students like Vidisha and Parth actually apply SMART goals in the daily routines?
Daily routines. Like I said earlier, that okay, here's the thing. I'm going to introduce two more terms to you because I understand where this question is coming from. Along with SMART goals, there is something called as a dilemma statement. Dilemma statement. So you've designed a SMART goal. Now, why haven't you achieved this goal till now? Because there is something stopping you. There's something coming in the way. Okay. So a dilemma statement. So you have to write a dilemma statement. What is that? So the format is this, that I want to achieve the SMART goal, and what is stopping me is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, I'll give my example, then I'll give your example. Okay, I want to reduce my weight by 15 kilos by September 2025, and what is stopping me is too much of junk food, laziness, uh, too much of work, um, distractions. Okay, now that I've written this, I know clearly what is stopping me. Now when that is clear, I just need to deal with these 4 5 things, and so the path is clear, and I can achieve the goal. Now, what happens on daily basis is that you all have, let's say, a favorite subject, maybe 2-3 favorite subjects. Might be one subject which you don't enjoy much. Okay. ये मतलब ये क्या है ये मतलब, okay. Like, some people like maths, some people don't like maths. I like algebra, geometry, and some students don't like theoretical subjects. Too much of memory. So you can set goals and another approach is that on day-to-day basis, you just say to yourself that this goal is very big and I need to finish this entire subject, or let's say 2 chapters or even one chapter. Even one chapter is a very big thing sometimes, especially for the subject that you don't enjoy much. So in that case, what you do is break it into small parts. So in the next 3 hours, I'm supposed to finish this chapter, but I'm not going to sit 3 hours at a stretch. I will finish this much part, let's say in 20 minutes. Then I will enjoy myself for 10 minutes. Again, this time which I'm giving you, you can decide for yourself. If you want to sit for 45 minutes, sit 45 minutes. Then enjoy for 15 minutes. Okay. After that, I will learn this part, then again enjoy, and then the last. The moment you see if the goal becomes overwhelming, like it's too much of a goal, then you need to break it up. Like I'll give you an example. I don't know when you all were born, but 2011 Cricket World Cup, which we won, the 50 over World Cup, which we won, is precisely based on the question that you asked. So we were chasing 274 made by Sri Lanka in the World Cup final. This was happening in Wankhede Stadium in Bombay. At chasing 274 in a World Cup final, that too in your home country, you can imagine the pressure that would be there on the team. 50-60,000 people in the stadium, millions watching all over the world. Okay. You can imagine the pressure, so much overwhelming pressure. To make things worse, we lost Virender Sehwag on the second ball. And then we lost Sachin Tendulkar at the score of 31. He made 19. Okay. And then Virat Kohli walked in. We lost Virat Kohli when the score was 105. The entire stadium went silent when these 3 wickets fell. Pin drop silence. Most of them felt that we are going to choke. We are not going to win this match. What happened after that is something which you should learn. What happened after that is when MS Dhoni and Gautam Gambhir came together. They decided that, okay, we need to make 275. No. We are not going to make 275. We are just going to reach 200 without losing any wicket. Score was 105. Run rate was fine. In the first 23 balls, Dhoni did not hit a single boundary. They ones and twos, because they knew that by the time I reach 200, we will get the confidence of getting the balanced 75 runs. We will be confident and Sri Lankan body language will drop. You realize is that whenever the goal is too overwhelming, break it into pieces. Don't look at where you want to go. Look at the halfway mark. First start. That is very important. Start. Reach the halfway mark. And from there, you get that confidence. I'm sure you must have realized this when your exams, till now, whatever exams you've given, till 9th, before the exams, you feel a little miserable. Exams are there. Bhagwan, especially terminal exams and final exams. Okay. But you'll realize that when the exams start, days go very fast. It's only that misery is there before the exam, but when the exam starts, the days go very fast. The same thing. Break your goals into smaller pieces and you'll achieve.
I love that idea. I think I'll start setting weekly goals for my subject instead of just cramming before my exam. So, my parents want me to be a doctor and I want to be a YouTuber. How do we both find a common ground without fights?
Acha, let me tell you what is going to happen in the next, definitely in the next 50 years. Okay. You all need to first of all research which are the skills which are going to be required at least in the next 20 years. We are actually now moving beyond traditional qualifications. Like, the graduation and post-graduation, they are going, it's going to be there. But we are going to move beyond it. What that means is that if you want to sustain professionally, you will need to have multiple skills. And by that, what I mean is that you just cannot rely only on one job. You'll be having a job, that's fine, but you also need to have some side hustle. Now, by side hustle, I don't mean that you should be salaried at two places. That is not allowed by government of India. You cannot be salaried at two places. But let's say you have a job and side by side you're doing something on your own. You are going to require that because your generation and the generation after you as well, that you all will need to do multiple things. Because any day your company can tell you, your organization can tell you that we don't need you. Then what is going to happen? You should have something to fall back. Okay, there should be that plan B. So focus on, so if your parents wanted you to become a doctor, first think about how do you feel about becoming a doctor. If you really want to become a doctor, go ahead. Maybe you can think of what you'd really like to become. आपको क्या चाहिए? What do you want? And then go in that area. Then you have to convince your parents, obviously. But you definitely know one thing, that you want to become a YouTuber. You definitely know that. Something that you definitely know, you should pursue it. But again, like what I said, that it has to, you need to have multiple skills. And now artificial intelligence is making its way in a big way. So obviously you'll need to learn that. So multiple skills, so that at no point of time you should feel that I can't earn money, or I'm outdated. Okay, uh, a desperate situation comes in, and this is going to happen starting this generation. In fact, the current generation that is there in the professional area, just who have started jobs, they will need to learn multiple skills. You all also need to do the same thing. So if you feel like doing medical, going into the medical field, go, but become a YouTuber as well, because that is what you like.
That's a great point through which we can reduce fights.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll tell you, I've heard this. Zakir Khan is one stand-up comedian. I like his one statement which he made, that he says that पेरेंट्स हमारे पैशन के अगेंस्ट नहीं होते हैं, वो सिर्फ हमें गरीब नहीं देखना चाहते हैं. It is like that. So you can follow your passion. It's just that they need that assurance that you're going to be okay. That's all what the parents want. So I'm sure that fights will not happen. We need to give that assurance to them.
Now, let's be real. Sticking to goals isn't always easy. We all face distractions, lack of motivation. What's your advice for students struggling to stay committed to their goals?
I think here's where I introduce another concept which is called as shining statements. So I spoke about SMART goals. I spoke about dilemma statements. Now there is something called as a shining statement. You all have competitions in school, right? School days, painting competition, rangoli competition, singing competition. What are you good at?
Painting.
Painting. What are you good at?
Painting.
Painting. Okay. I used to be good in sports. Okay. I used to run very fast. Okay. I think from 6th standard till 12th standard, I always used to come first during the sports day. So when the sports day would be announced, what I would do, that previous night, okay, next day we've got 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, long jump, and all these events are there. Previous night, I would start dreaming that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to come first. Then they're going to give me a medal, and those days we used to get medals, okay, and a certificate. And so I used to visualize that in my head. I used to feel very good. And when that used to happen the next day, I used to feel very good. Okay. So shining statement is that you think of all this and glorify it in your head to such a way that you are really motivated to achieve. So sometimes I used to do this, that whenever I used to go for district level athletic meet or state level athletic meet or national level athletic meet. So I used to design a headline in my head that, okay, after I win this race, what will be the headline in the newspaper? So I used to design headlines in my head like, Amarendra uh, has set the track on fire by running at 10.5 seconds, 100 meters, whatever it is. That part is the shining statement. Whenever you create that motivation in your head, then you are all fired up. Okay. Then distractions are not going to affect you so much. Like, I've already thought of when I lose 15 kilos, I've already thought of a t-shirt caption. I'm going to make a t-shirt which says, I am the biggest loser. So I've already thought of that caption. Uh, Now that statement is a shining statement for me. If I really want that t-shirt, I'll continue with my journey of losing weight.
That's so true. But what should someone do if they feel overwhelmed by a big goal?
Like I said, if it is a big goal, the 2011 wala example.
Yes.
See, I'll tell you another thing, that when it comes to big goals, somewhere the belief system starts getting affected very badly. Belief system means that, okay, I start believing that I'm not going to achieve this goal. And here I'd like to tell you another story where, in 1950s, there used to be this common belief that human beings cannot run 1 mile distance under 4 minutes. Even doctors used to say this, that human beings cannot run 1 mile distance under 4 minutes. Um, so nobody used to attempt it. They used to find that this goal is too overwhelming. One day, one person came whose name was Roger Bannister. He ran that race in 3 minutes 59 seconds. And then suddenly everybody started thinking that, oh, this is possible. Who said that it is not possible? And then that new belief came that, this is possible. So it barely took 2 months after that race. Another Australian runner beat Roger Bannister's record. He ran in 3 minutes 58 seconds. Now, from that day till today, we've had more than 20,000 runners who have run 1 mile distance under 4 minutes. And some of them are high school kids. You understand? So already I've told you that, okay, break down the big goals into small goals. But the second thing is the belief part. If you feel that it is not possible, ask yourself this question: and what evidence do I have to support that it is not possible? And I'll tell you, most of the times, you'll never get that evidence. You'll never get that evidence supporting that this is not possible. So, uh, uh, Henry Ford makes this statement: believe you can, believe you can't. Either ways, you're right. So, if you believe that it is not possible, you're right. If you believe you can, you're right.
That's so true. I usually give up when I don't see quick results, but now I see that tracking small wins can actually help me.
And whenever you have these small goals and you win in these small goals, celebrate. Celebrate in whatever way. That celebration is a motivation. Because when you celebrate, then you get motivated to achieve more and more. It could be as simple as, let's say, having fruit juice. That, such a small way. Okay.
Sir, so my next question to you is Reels, Shorts, Netflix. How do I stop social media from hijacking my study time without deleting my apps?
The thing is that it is a part of our life. Okay. It would be quite unreasonable to say that take it out of your life, uproot it out of your life and throw it out. In a way, I'll tell you that social media is not bad. Uh, in fact, it helps a lot of businesses. If you start any business at some point of time in your life, social media is going to help you bring some business. So all that is fine. The thing is that overdoing it is not very good. Okay. So the idea which I gave you earlier, that when you're working, um, let's say you're working for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, keep your mobile in another room in on silent mode. Focus over here for 45 minutes. Take 15 minutes. After that, take 15 minutes. See your mobile. Then enjoy yourself. and then again decide what time you're going to start. Okay, and then be very disciplined about it.
That's a great advice, sir. Now, my another question is, how do SMART goals help in time management?
Time management. So the T part is the time bound thing. Okay, so I need to achieve something by this in this much time. Okay, I also told you about the timeline technique on the chart paper. This has to be done. Uh, this has to be done quite religiously, and make sure that when you're pasting it on the wall and when you achieve, let's say, the first milestone, tick it and give yourself, let's say, a star or something, and then celebrate. Okay, that itself teaches you time management, because now you are motivated to achieve something before time. Okay, पिछले बार I achieved this just on time. Let's see if I can achieve this before time. Now next time, let me see if I can take even lesser time to achieve something. The moment that game starts in your head, that game has you should play that game. That okay, let me challenge myself. You see, your biggest competition is not outside you. Your biggest competition is, you should be challenging yourself, and then time management falls in place. I I don't know if you've read the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a life changer. That book, you should read it sometimes. It has a simple first things first model. So first things first model is, at least everything in four quadrants. Okay, something that is urgent and important. Anything that has to be done urgent and important, do it right away. Then you have something which is not urgent but important. Now you realize one thing, that you have your board exams next year. So, studying just now, is it urgent? Not so much just now, but it is important to study. So, sometimes we put off studies, and then suddenly September, October arrives. Now, suddenly that part becomes urgent and important. Now you have to rush. So, first thing is clear out all the activities that are a part of urgent and important. Then definitely clear out all those activities or anything that you need to do which is important but not urgent, so that they don't come in this quadrant. But then what happens when these activities come in this quadrant? Then stress, tension, all that starts, and that is not, pressure, tension is not good for you. Simple.
That's so true. Sir, can you share a personal story where SMART goals helped you achieve success?
So so I was salaried until 2018. Okay, I, I think 16 18 years of experience I had. I knew very well that the organization that I was working with was not doing very well, and financially, that is. So I knew that, someday I think they are going to lay off people. Okay, then I decided that maybe I should start doing something on my own. Okay, that time I did not have any other side business or anything like that. So you believe me, I started my work of building my website in September 2017. Finished the website on December 14th, 2017, which is my birthday. Okay. Gifted myself with that website and made it operational, properly operational, on the laptop, on the mobile, everything. Started the search engine optimization by February 1st, 2018. And on February 2nd, 2018, along with 50 other people, we were laid off from the organization. So you realize that if I had not started something and kept a goal for myself, that okay, I should be finishing this by December, and by February everything should be optimized, probably I would be sitting idle for some months after that. Something which, clear example.
That was an inspiring story, sir.
Now, before we wrap up, let's do a quick challenge for our listeners. Amrinder sir, what's one step they can take today for setting better goals?
Okay, so small step, like something which I just already told you, that study for 45 minutes, enjoy for 15 minutes,
Yes.
and do this 3 times today. That's the challenge for today. Let's say, and then gradually do it 4 times in a day, 5 times in a day. Start that routine.
I am going to write my first SMART goal today.
Excellent.
Same here. I start small and build from there.
Sir, let's start with the rapid fire. You have to give one word answer.
Right.
What one goal that, if achieved, would charge you entire life overnight?
Digital marketing.
If you had to define goal setting in one word, what would it be?
Blueprint of life.
If you had last 24 hours to achieve a life-changing goal, what would you do?
Learn AI.
Are there any secrets successful people use to achieve their goals faster?
Dissociate, focus, and continue enjoying the process.
What's one most unrealistic goal that someone actually achieved?
Some cricketers, Arshdeep Singh, had to cycle 10 kilometers every day, reach, practice for 4-5 hours, come back 10 kilometers. Did not have the kit as well. Unrealistic goal.
If students had to set just one goal for 2025, what should it be?
Learn at least 5 skills which are relevant, which are going to be relevant from 2025 to 2035.
What's the biggest secret successful people use that schools don't teach?
Creative thinking, design thinking, and emotional intelligence.
What's your ultimate life goal that you haven't shared with many people before?
I want to be a millionaire only through my e-learning website.
If you could give one goal setting challenge to all students watching, what would it be?
21-day challenge.
What's a daily goal setting ritual that you swear by?
Morning, plan my day. Evening, introspect, and then take corrective action.
Thank you, sir.
Bounce.